Yeah, that was boy, oh boy. I mean, that was a stomach turner. He's actually a New York City kid. He's a Bronx kid. In fact, the coach from Manhattan, Steve Mazziello, who worked under Patino before he came to Manhattan, recruited Kevin to Louisville. So it was kind of, a home connection there. And man, I never seen anything like that in sports, let alone on a basketball court. And frankly, I didn't even watch the end of the game. I mean, I peeked in on it, but it's just such a heartbreak. I kind of felt like I knew what was going to happen in that game anyway. I thought Louisville was just kind of too much for Duke, but man, I had to turn that thing off. And it's great to see that they took care of him so quickly, and he's back with his team. I guess he's traveling down to Atlanta. So, but when you see that, I mean, you just never expect it, and obviously, your heart goes out to the kid. And then seeing his teammates crying and Patino crying, it's just, but, it reminds you, that anything like that could happen. And, in a weird sort of way, I guess that's what makes sports so compelling, everybody competing as hard as they do. So.
Yeah. And it reminds us that they are just all young men, and that they have built a bond as well to be together all the time, and to see that. Yeah, that's
well, that's why I love college. I love college. I mean, I obviously, my job is to follow the NBA, but you have to watch. You're going to get your new recruits from college, and I try to follow it as closely as I can, and I hang around some different programs and try to head up to practices when I can, and develop relationship with coaches and kids and their parents, and it's just extremely compelling. And you're right, you do get that sense of the camaraderie and the brotherhood and the competitive spirit, and let's face it, the NBA, it's just they always have that chemistry, and I love to watch the NBA guys play because of their skill.
Yeah.
But it's definitely not the same in terms of everybody kind of pulling together in the same direction always. So to me, that's what made college really special.
It's been a while now since the final NCAA basketball final, and so many things happen in between, and we move so fast in this world now that it's nice to actually take the time to look back on, you could say the tournament, but definitely the final, and how much of a great game that it was.
Wow, the tournament's always this way. It's filled with so, there's going to be an upset. You just don't know where the upset's going to occur.
Yeah.
And as the common person, the fan, anyone, you're looking at the names, you're like, there's no way this team's not going to beat this team, and you struggle with the debate along the way. Everybody does. And then you see these teams that just get on a roll, and for that brief moment in time, create their own history, change the directions of their universities, their enrollments change, the coaches change. So many things are going to happen that are positive in that tournament.
Yeah.
When they're in there, because there is parity. There is parity in college basketball, because there are some teams of the big major conferences that have freshmen and sophomores, and these mid-majors now have seniors.
Yeah.
They have even 6th-year seniors. They have 5th-year seniors, and that makes up for that. And that's the parity. There's the experience level and the ability to have been playing together for a number of years. So that's the true parity within college basketball. And you're right, you get some excitement, get some great games, and you have got to get lucky along the way.
Yeah.
And those two teams, it was exciting. It was absolutely fantastic. The kid from Michigan in the first half just doing things that were just magical. You know, he's on the biggest stage of his life at this moment in time.
Yep.
And he is just shooting the basketball lights out. No one even knows who he is.
Yep.
He hasn't taken that many all his whole career, this whole year. And he's just doing it. And it's outrageous. And yet you look at Louisville and their ability to withstand everything that kept coming at them all throughout that whole tournament. Kevin Ware gets injured, and it's one of the worst tragedies that you can ever see as a basketball player, much less a fan. You know, if you've ever taken an injury, it's hard to look at someone else having an injury because you reminisce about your own.
Yeah.
So, oh boy, when that happened, man, I mean that's the true sign of a Hall of Fame coach. You know, he gathered his troops. They're emotional, and the best thing we can do for him right now is get to Atlanta. I mean, that was fantastic. It refocused them. It got them back on the thing. The kid ended up doing his thing, and now maybe they're a team of destiny now.
Yeah.
And then you see, Michigan's come back, and Trey Burke's shot from the parking lot, and you go, man, they're a team of destiny. They're destined to be there too. Unbelievable contributions from these players was great. So that final game has what it's supposed to have. It has drama, it has emotion, it has ups and downs, and some key baskets. And the best thing I like about it is when the ball isn't going to go in, it's the next play. It's something else. People are not. Both teams were not just putting their head down and sulking, and it wasn't going to be over until the actual game was actually over. All the way up until that point, man, it was a fight. 5 points, 7 points, nothing was safe. It was going back and forth, and you never knew. You never knew who was going to actually do what. And you also saw the two coaches not have demonstrate to their team either that things were terrible, and we need to oh God, we're gonna lose the game now. Right. They both had their runs, ups and downs.
Yeah.
And were calm, cool, and collected, and showed confidence in their players, and the players went out there to do it. That was a fantastic game. And if it was like the NBA in a 7-game series, that would just be just tremendous to see.
Oh, wow.
But I just love the fact that Michigan had some young kids came and stepped up, some unknowns came and played. It's great. And Louisville had a great run, and Russ Smith was really having a very difficult time making a basket in that championship game, and their 6-man Kevin Ware is sitting on the sideline, and yet other players came to play. Another non-factor type of an athlete ends up making 5 threes that game, and it's just unbelievable.
Yeah. Just
unbelievable. The drama that was there, one kid on Michigan's making 4 threes, the other one comes back, makes them the same way. It's great drama.
Yeah. And that was the story, wasn't it, from the first half and leading into the second? It was all about the 6th man.
Oh, it was about the other guy, yeah. And just pure confidence. I mean, they were shooting it. I mean, just catching and shooting. No thought into it, and extremely confident that they were going to make that basket. That was beautiful to watch. I love the fact that they were supremely confident in their abilities, and laid it all out on the line.
Yeah.
Nothing, you can't ask for more than that.
Yeah, yeah. And Louisville did what it seemed they'd accomplished all season. End of the first half, they went on a 11-0 run, and it was only the last point that Michigan ended up scoring that meant they went in up by 1.
Yes. Up until that point, I mean, they're going back and forth and they're down. But they had been doing that all year long. Coming back, deficits didn't matter, staying true to their system of play, making sure they held their defensive assignments, and then when they had their opportunities to attack, they seized those moments and they attacked.
Yeah.
And with confidence. You know, even when they did attack on 3-on-2s or 4-on-3s and odd numbers and they missed, it was next play. It was what's next. We got to get the ball back. We got to have a defensive stand, you know, and kept putting the pressure. I mean, it was great. They all shared the ball. Both teams did. Wonderful experience. Great for college basketball.
Yeah. Yeah. What do we learn from this final?
Well, you learn that you stay true to who you are. I think both teams, that's what they were. They were known for this is how they were going to be playing. Their superstars carried them throughout the tournament, and unsung heroes have a role as well throughout. And you never know where it's going to come from. And adversity is going to strike you. Close games are going to come to you. And it's how do you handle the adversity? How do you handle the success as well?
Yeah.
I mean, even when Louisville was up, they didn't feel it was over with. It was never over. And they kept on staying true to themselves. They kept playing hard. They shared the basketball. And it really looked like both teams had extreme confidence in each other's teammates. And I think that's the greatest lesson to learn, is that it is a team game. One player cannot do it all. And as a matter of fact, one of your players throughout the course of that tournament is not going to be around. Not physically, but, you know, athletically, the basket just he's not going to make them. And so who else is going to come through? That unsung hero is going to come through.
Yeah.
And that was the beauty for me to watch. You know, both teams had those guys that just played lights out, played like they had been doing that their whole life. So they seized the opportunity in the moment. And for that, you know, they were talked about. I'm sure the rest of that, after the game, I'm sure everybody that was in attendance was just saying, "No, that's what I'm talking about. That's basketball. That was fantastic. What a great game." I'm sure they gave them standing ovation because they went toe-to-toe. And, boy, they battled. I had a great time watching that game. That was exciting.